normally we would be speaking to one of over 300 charities and nonprofits at the bottom of our show at about 10:40 on each Tuesday and Friday edition of the Megacast. We're going to do that a little bit earlier today and welcome our next guest on the Megacast, Gail Urso, the co-founder of Kevin's Song. Gail, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate having you on to talk to us about this nonprofit. We've talked to Kevin's Song before on a number of different occasions, before your conferences, and about some of the different issues that Kevin's Song helps address in our communities. But for those that aren't familiar, tell us about Kevin's Song.
Well, Kevin's Song is a nonprofit organization that my husband John and I founded after the death of our son Kevin 10 years ago this March to suicide. Kevin was 41 years old when he died. And although we knew that Kevin had experienced some depression over the years, particularly as an adult, we were just stunned. We had no idea that suicide was a possibility. And we realized after he died that suicide is a public health crisis in our country. And at that time, 10 years ago, it was talked about very little. And so we were, I think, in our grief, wanting to do something. Our inclination was to talk about it so that others would know how common suicide is. So we formed Kevin's Song, and we set out to create a website that would be helpful to people. We wanted to do a documentary film, and we wanted to hold a conference. So 10 years later, I'm pleased to say that all of those things and many more have been accomplished. We have a wonderful website that's kevinsong.org, which has a lot of information about Kevin's Song and what Kevin's Song does, but it also has some excellent videos. It has books, lots of references. There are resources available. And we keep it current. We also created a film, our first video many years ago with Kieft called Death is Not the Answer. But we've gone on to create additional videos that have to do with suicide. And those are available on our website as well. And every year we have a conference. And we have just Saturday actually, completed our 7th annual conference on suicide. This year, the title was Building Roads to a Better Tomorrow. And I am pleased to say it was a huge success. We had around 450 people attend over the 3-day period. On Saturday, let me say, first of all, that Thursday and Friday are days set aside primarily for mental health professionals, educators. We had a special symposium this year for students who are in psychology and social work and planning to be therapists, also medical students. And that was very well attended. We had a school summit, which was directed primarily toward educators, teachers, counselors, administrators. And Friday was more general, but just packed with helpful information from noted experts, local experts, experts from throughout Michigan and throughout the country. But Saturday is a day that we call Survivor Saturday, and it's set aside really for people who have lost someone to suicide or attempt survivors or their families. And it was live streamed with the help of Detroit Public Television and a number of other nonprofit agencies. And we had over 1,500 people as of now view that presentation. So it's very recent that we have just accomplished what we set out to do every year, and probably what we're best known for, and that is this very professional conference. But I always love the fact that people love to be there. It's been called a conference with heart. This year, one of the social workers said to me, whenever I come to this, I feel like I'm being invited into your home. It's held at formerly the Inn at St. John's, now St. John's Resort in Plymouth. And it's just a marvelous atmosphere, and it's a wonderful experience. So we're already, this coming week, we will begin planning for our 2024 conference at the end of January.
And we know that preventing suicide is so much a community effort, not just for that individual and their community that may be considering an attempt or may have attempted and maybe and survived, but also in those unfortunate situations too, where someone has successfully ended their life by suicide. These are situations where having that community around can be so important, and having those resources to know how to cope with these tragedies, and more importantly, how to prevent these tragedies is huge. And that's why it's so important, the work that you and your organization do at Kevin's Song. Again, their website is kevinssong.org. You can also find them through Share Detroit at sharedetroit.org, alongside over 300 other charities and nonprofits doing amazing work here in our local area. And Gail, I understand also that at this time you're looking to hire an executive director for your organization as well. What are you looking for in an executive director for those that may be watching today or listening today, and maybe themselves or they know someone that would love to get involved with an organization like yours and help so many people here in our local area?
Well, we're looking for a really spectacular person. Um, Someone who obviously has knowledge about the operations of a nonprofit organization, someone with good people skills, because there's when I say people skills, this person has to be able to relate to our board, volunteers, people who have lost someone to suicide, but also sit across the desk from someone at a foundation or a large company, because of course we're always looking for funds. They have to have the heart for it, but also knowledge that goes with, I won't say so much the mental health world, although that would be preferable, but mostly how a nonprofit works. And I will say that on our website, if they are interested, there is information about how to apply. We have a search firm who is assisting us. So everything is going through this firm, and the contact information is on our website. And we'd be happy to hear from anyone who is interested.
More information can be found on their website, kevinssong.org. You can also inquire by sending an email to gail@kevinssong.org, listed at the top of their website, or call them 313-236-7109. That's 313-236-7109. And you can learn even more information too about this organization, about Kevin's Song, and all that they do throughout the year, volunteer opportunities, job opportunities such as the executive director's position, and more, by going to sharedetroit.org, clicking on Find a Nonprofit, and just searching for Kevin's Song for more information. Again, kevinssong.org is the website if you'd like to get involved. And we're joined today by Gail Urso, the co-founder of Kevin's Song, on the Megacast with us, one of over 300 charities and nonprofits supported on the Share Detroit platform. And in terms of 2023, we know that you accomplished so much last year, and you just had another very successful conference to kick off 2023. What are some of the goals of your organization this year, things that Kevin Song would like to accomplish in continuing to further its mission and help a lot of people, not just here in Michigan, but in places all over the country?
Well, thank you for that question. I will mention that we have a support group for lost survivors, anyone who has lost a loved one, a colleague, a friend to suicide. I can't stress how helpful it is if you have lost someone to suicide to be part of a support group, because suicide is an unusual kind of death, and it's complicated. The grief that goes with it is complicated. Oftentimes people feel guilt, or what did I miss? How did I not know? And but there are many people in that situation who have lost someone, and coming together and sharing their thoughts and feelings about it is just extremely helpful. We have a virtual support group that meets the first Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. Again, information is on the website. And then we have an in-person meeting that occurs the third Thursday of each month at Grosse Pointe Memorial Church. That's an East Side group, but there are many other groups throughout the state, and you can find many of those on our website. If you're in northern Michigan, or not in the Metro Detroit area, I know that the AFSP website has a good listing of active support groups, but we think that our support of lost survivors is a very important thing that we do. We also have educational opportunities throughout the year. We've done panel discussions, and because of COVID, many of them in the last few years have been done virtually. Sometimes they're held in person, though, at schools and churches. We offer that, so if anyone's interested, we can always provide speakers. We are primarily a resource. Even though we've gone through suicide loss and we've learned a lot over 10 years, we don't see ourselves as the experts, but we have a lot of experts, and we provide speakers for panels for school districts and communities and churches. I think those are the primary things that we do. We have task forces that we're always looking for volunteers for small jobs, and we've gotten some very good ones through Share Detroit, I would like to add. But we're looking for people who want to be committed to perhaps serving on a task force or a committee. We do have a big fundraiser in September called Starry Night that is a wonderful event. It's very important because it's how we pay for the conference, in part, along with sponsorships. So working on that it's interesting and helpful. What I want to say is, I once had a friend who had lost someone, a child, and she said, I don't think I could work with Kevin Song because it would be too depressing. And what I want to say is, it is very uplifting when all these people come together, like at our conference where we had probably 50 volunteers. It's just a warm, nurturing, comforting atmosphere. And I want people to know that if they sign up to work with Kevin Song, they'll have a lot of fun and meet a lot of nice people.
kevinsong.org is the website for more information. Gail, thank you so much for joining us today.
I appreciate the time. Thank you.